And just like that, she walked herself home. Hello, Steve Hart 79. Well, I watched the third episode of And Just Like That, When in Rome. It was interesting. It was good. It was a little bit more fun, a little bit lighter. We're 3 weeks after the death, and Carrie's having the will read. And for some reason, Big left Natasha $1 million. So, aside from the fact that she's going to lose half that in tax, which is probably the most shocking thing of the episode, like literally, like she's only going to get like 450,000 something out of $1 million. Crazy. Why is he giving her this money? Carrie is of course freaking out. She's thinking, did they have an affair? Were they friends? Was he keeping her? Like, what is happening? Like, she was sort of happy with this place of, we had a great relationship, it ended, and you know, she sort of was okay. And then it's like he took away the happy ending, because now she was feeling insecure and unsure and not, you know, like what was the relationship? Why was she involved? Why is she in the will? So it sort of undermined her on some level. So she's reeling about that and being a little crazy. She's walking places compulsively. She's not sleeping. She still hasn't gotten into his computer. And I really thought the password was going to be Kogi, the name of his dog from 1964. And she's like, I didn't even know he had a dog. Like, what else do I not know about him? So she's sort of racked with uncertainty and she's a mess. Now, Miranda we're realising her relationship with Steve is more like a friendship. They haven't had sex in years. They basically just mix desserts and watch Netflix, basically, and that's their relationship. It's a bit sad because they had a real relationship in the show, and they had a real relationship in, I think, the first movie where they met on the bridge and everything. Was that the first movie? I'm getting them confused now. But I'm a little disappointed. Like, some people are sort of saying, I feel like they're undoing a lot of the things in the show. But at the same time, how interesting can this show be, and how interesting can these characters be if they're all happily married people and nothing happens? So I thought Big dying would be enough. And also the contrast of Carrie being alone and having lost her husband while everyone else is married and happy would have been enough. But it looks like they're undoing everything at this point. So yeah, where was I? Let's go to Miranda. Now Miranda, that's where I was. Miranda she's realising, well, she seems to be becoming a lesbian. She is fascinated by, I think the character was called Shay, and they go to a comedy show and she's talking about change, and basically she's saying how the people who are sure of who they are and what they are the most boring, sad people, because, you know, there's nothing else in life, there's nothing new, there's nothing coming, there's nothing to learn, there's nothing, you know, there's no change, it's just, you know, exactly what you're doing and always will. And she's like, I feel like I need to change. I don't know if she's going to end up with her, or if she's, I mean, we all know that Cynthia Nixon came out as gay for a while, and then, or bisexual, and then she married a guy and confused everyone. No one was confused she came out, everyone was confused that she went back in, if I remember correctly. This has been a few years. And I actually didn't think that they were going to bring that part of her life into the show and into the character. I didn't see it coming, even though they were setting up Steve and her to be this sort of loveless, sort of hopeless sort of marriage. I just thought they were playing on that comfortable married couple that sort of are like that, but not really. So I'm a bit surprised they're going that way with it, but they are. Now, similarly, poor Charlotte, her daughter has told her, I don't feel like a girl ever. She feels like a they or a them. So Charlotte is freaking out about pronouns. So the first thing she does is run and take her to Uncle Mario. I know that's not the character's name. But yeah, so he's got this ridiculous little bakery with men in little shorts and everything. And he's saying, look, you're overreacting. You know, when she was a kid, she wanted to be a dog. Is she a dog? No, just because she's thinking about, you know, she's a teenager. She's not sure of who she is anyway. That's part of it. After puberty, after all that, if I guess she's still questioning and has issues, then maybe worry, I guess, is what he's thinking. But she's trying to be a good parent. And at the show, they is talking about how their family loved her, and that she's okay because of that. And there's close-ups of Charlotte, and she's like, she knows she loves the daughter, and she will, work it out. And Miranda is responding to, and her close-ups are responding to the change and everything. And Carrie's just enjoying being somewhere loud and not at home. So, yeah. Now Natasha. She starts stalking Natasha because she wants to know what the hell. Why is he giving you $1 million? What is happening? So she sends her an email. It bounces back. She DMs her on Instagram, and she blocks her. And I do believe she is what Miranda calls her for that, because obviously she knows about the will, and wants to talk to her about that. I feel like there's enough there. It's not like she's some crazy ex for no reason contacting her. The guy's died. Maybe there's something he asked her to tell her or something. Who knows? I would answer that message. So she goes to her work. She takes all the girls with her. They wait in a coffee shop. She goes in. She sits. She waits next to a really interesting photo of a giant mural photo of a sheep. And she's in the purple dress we saw in the ads where she's like running across the road. And I thought she was like checking out a place to open a new business or something. I thought that's what that was that they were filming. What that was after the assistant comes out and says, oh, she's in Rome, when they just saw her walk in, so she knows she's lying. She's explained to the girls, and she points up. She's like, she's up there on level 3, and then she's literally in the window looking down at them, and they're like, oh my God, so they run off. And it's kind of old school Sex and the City. It's funny, it's cringe, it's good. And she doesn't know how to deal with it. So she's walking again another day, and she stops in at some little coffee shop, and she goes into the same-sex, no-sex bathroom, and what does she find? Natasha, because she opens the door and she's in there like going. So she spills a hot coffee on herself. She goes out, sits down. Natasha comes out, yells at her basically, what the F do you want from me? And they do eventually have a talk. She gives her some ice for a burn. And she's like, I don't know why he left me the money. We didn't speak after the divorce. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know what. He's a mystery. And she's like, and of course, Carrie's so relieved to know they didn't have an affair. They weren't friends. They weren't carrying on some sort of relationship he didn't know about. And she's like, well, I think this was his way of saying sorry to you, because he was good with words. He's a money man. He thought, I'll give her $1 million. That'll make up for what I did to her. So they sort of work it out. They make their peace. They move on. And I think that's the end of the episode. What else happened? Dealt with Lily and Charlotte. Lily is barely even in the episode, and the weirdest thing about that is they share a bedroom. And I'm like, how do rich people in New York have, like, their kids not have separate bedrooms? I thought that was weird. The one last thing. Yes, there's one last thing that was in the episode that was interesting. Stanford is showing up for coffee because Carrie wants to tell them about the will. And Charlotte is like, oh, I didn't realise you were here. I just thought it was me, Miranda. I just got a table for free. She's like, oh, we can do a 4. And she's like, no, because she's perfectionist. And he's like, no, I serve tables. I know, a 3 top can be a 4 top. It's fine. So I just worked out why. The rest of the scene, every time someone goes in and out the door of the back door of this cafe, they whack the table, the door into his chair, because there isn't supposed to be someone there, because there's only supposed to be 3 people at that table. So I just worked out why the whole scene, every time they go in and out the door, they're hitting the back of his chair. But they hit on this little tension that Charlotte sort of feels like he's not one of the girls, and that Charlotte is the better friend, and that he says, you're threatened by our friendship. So that was an interesting little scene, which didn't go as far as I thought, but she's like, you're in therapy talking about me? But yeah, that was interesting, because that was a little thing that you sort of felt in the series. So they're playing with interesting stuff. They're looking at interesting stuff. I'm not shocked Miranda may possibly become a lesbian, or at least start looking for happiness outside of... I mean, she's saying, look, if we didn't have a kid and desserts, would we ever have a marriage? The kid's old enough. They can go their separate ways. He's going to be fine. Yeah, it was a good episode. I'm wondering where the series as a whole is still going. Like, Carrie needs to find herself. Where is she going to find, what is she going to find? The episode ends with she goes home and she's saying like he should have given her the house. Should have given Natasha the house because I can't be here. I can't sleep here. It's haunted. And then she gets dropped off. Because that's right. Miranda stays behind after the comedy show. They go to the comedy show. I haven't gone through the events in chronological order. More like what happened to each character. And Miranda goes to the after party and she's saying to Che or whatever, she's like, "Oh my God, you're amazing, change. You're just like a prophet." And she's like, "Breathe, have some dope." And she's like, "No, I can't do that. And she's like, "Can I shotgun you?" And she's like, "Okay." And there's this long, slow shot of that and then the after. And Miranda's definitely questioning things and probably exploring things. And I'm kind of surprised, not surprised in a way, because you kind of thought that about her when you're watching the show sometimes. And then when you found out Cynthia was gay, it sort of made sense. But then you're like, yeah, but the actor's not the character. But maybe the character is the actor now. Or the actor is the character now. But basically, Carrie goes home, but she's not comfortable. She looks up and she's like, "I can't go up there." She says to the doorman, "Look, I'm just going to go for a walk." And she walks home. And just like that, she walks herself home. And I was thinking earlier when she was in her apartment, I'm like, is that her old place? Oh no, it's the new place. I kind of wanted to just go home. I'm like, I got that vibe before it happened. So I'm curious where they're going to go with the character in the series. I really am not sure, but I'm enjoying it so far. There's 7 episodes left. I kind of felt like I wanted more because I discovered Sex and the City more on DVD after the show had finished. I saw a couple of episodes randomly back in the day before it finished, but I really didn't watch it till it was on DVD and that. So I'm not used to having to wait, and I have to wait a whole week for another episode. I kind of wish they'd dropped the whole series or maybe half the series at once. But it is good that it's dragged out though, so it's good and bad. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I think some people are disappointed that they're undoing the relationships. It looks like Charlotte and what's his name, Harry, are going to be the only normal, stable, happy couple that stays together, and Miranda's probably going to break up with Steve. Of course, Big died. Samantha left. But like I said, it would have been boring if they're all just 4 happy married women just sitting having coffee once a week and talking about the kids or something. Not exactly primetime drama, but yeah, I'm going to go. Bye.